Well, it took about a week longer than we were hoping for, but rookie premieres are finally going live in Madden 25 Ultimate Team, and in this video, we're going to be showcasing the best ones you should be picking. Now, Soul Salsa family, and welcome back to another Madden 25 Ultimate Team video. In this one, we're going to be going through and ranking every rookie premiere option to ensure you're going through and making the best selection possible. Because I know a lot of people might not know this, but the way rookie premieres work in Madden 25 is you don't just get the cards you selected in Madden 24. For every set you did, you're going to get a token, and then with that token, you get to go through and make a selection of any rookie premiere in this game. And these are big time decisions. We're getting the options of some 85 overall cards, which are top end in this game. 85s are basically the highest overall you can possibly get other than LTDs. All right, now let's talk through these options and then rank them, starting it off with Mr. Jaden Daniels himself, an 85 overall quarterback card. 83 speed is very solid. The throw power is an 82, which is good. Not really the greatest, honestly. We would like to see that a little bit higher. In terms of the accuracies, I honestly don't think these matter a whole ton in Madden 25, because unlike Madden 24, where at the start of the game, my quarterbacks were missing passes all the time, it looked like they were throwing the ball with their left hand. No, this year, I'm not really getting many misses. It seems like speed and throw power are really the two things you want to optimize. And unfortunately, they're not really crazily optimized. 83 speed is good, don't get me wrong. Like, that's top end in this game, and 82 throw power is really solid as well. But there's nothing about this card that screams, pick me as your BND quarterback and use me for the next 2 months. That's kind of a crazy way of wording it. But regardless, with a BND quarterback, it's going to take something crazy for me to get convinced. This card is solid. We'll talk about him in our rankings a little bit later. Now, next up, we got Jonathan Brooks, a card that I was actually pretty excited for, but 83 speed just isn't it. And the fact that most people are using Christian McCaffrey anyways right now kind of makes this card not viable. There's so many other free running backs I know a lot of people have. If you got so lucky and you found the pot of gold, you got Saquon Barkley, you're probably using him. If you're using CMC, you don't need this card. So for me personally, this feels like a bit of a waste. To buy Madden 25 coins for the cheapest price on the internet, check out MMOEXP by clicking the link in the description and use the promo code SWIFT at checkout for 5% off. Then next up, this is one that I'm actually a little bit disappointed in. Terrion Arnold, 85 overall quarterback card, 84 speed and 84 excel. I'm not going to complain about that. Like, realistically, we're not going to nitpick. That's solid. 85 would be nice, but 84s are all right. The things that I'm upset about are the zone and the play rec, bro. 78 zone and 78 play rec is brutal. Me personally, I run a zone coverage scheme. I was hoping to have this card as a key cog on my team, and he had really solid stats on his rookie premiere in Madden 24. That card was solid. This card is not. Like, if you play man coverage, he's good, but the zone being a 78 is a big turnoff for me. Now, he's got solid other physical stats, like 85 jumping is good, 81 agility is solid, but again, just a little bit disappointed in this card overall. Now, fellas, you're gonna notice a trend. Tyler Newbin right here, I've got the exact same thing to say about him. Disappointed. And another issue of this card is the fact that he's a free safety, and we just got Jabril Peppers for free. Jabril Peppers is better than this player. 83 speed, 85 excel is solid, 85 zone is solid, but again, you watching this video, if you've been following my channel, you probably have Jabril Peppers for free. If you don't know how to get him for free, check out my what to do first in the Boom promo video, but Jabril Peppers can easily get maxed out today with Season of Boom Part 2 dropping, and there's really no need to use this card unless you want a backup free safety. I don't see a ton of value here. Okay, now I'll give EA credit. This one is usable. This one is solid. Romeo Odunze right here. 84 speed, 86 jumping. I would expect that the acceleration is going to be pretty nice. 84 catching is good. 83 CIT. The route runnings are all solid. 85, 84, 81. Route running does seem to matter a little bit this year. I'm noticing some guys get rid of their breaks a lot faster than others. And he's also at a position of depth. Wide receiver. You can use him as your 1. You can use him as your 3. Even as your wide receiver 4, he might have some value. He's also 6'3", which is awesome to see. So this card right here is a W. If you couldn't tell, he's probably going to be listed somewhat decently in this video, but Rome Odunze, the stats are good. I'll give EA credit. I wish it was 85 speed, especially considering the fact that we spent like 3 million coins to get each card in Madden 24, but we can't complain. All we got to play with is the card that EA Sports dealt us, and they dealt us maybe like a jack and a 7, which isn't the greatest, but we'll make do. Now, next up, there's a Dallas Turner, 85 overall left outside linebacker, 81 speed, 84 acceleration. This card actually underrated, bro. 85 block shed, 84 power move, 78 finesse move. Not horrible. Speed and excel are pretty good. I will say the Max Crosby card is better than this, but as a pass rusher, hey, I think this card is getting slept on. He'll have a decent spot in our rankings. Then next up, there's Braden Fiskey, who for some reason is just such a fun name to say, but the only thing fun about this card is his name, because he's got 77 speed and 83 acceleration. He's basically a defensive tackle, 82 block shed, 85 power move. He's basically a defensive tackle, and in the Ram scheme, he basically is a defensive tackle. tackle because they run a 3-4 scheme, so their ends are basically their DTs. Braden Fiskey, a solid card. Again, he's not going to make this list. Now, fellas, there's also supposed to be a JC Latham card that did not get revealed yesterday. By the time you're watching this video, Rookie Premier should either be live or about to go live. So if JC Latham becomes an option, I think the stats are actually going to be solid. He's a left tackle or a right tackle. I'm forgetting. He's a tackle, though, and tackles, they're an important position in this game. They're a position where you might not want to spend your coin. So JC, if he becomes available, I think he'll be solid. I'll pop up the stats of the Madden 24 Rookie Premier on the screen just so you guys can see them and get a little bit of context, but I'm expecting that card would be pretty good. All right, let's rank these bad boys. We've got a top 5, and there's really only 5 cards I think you guys should be considering. Card number 1 is Dallas Turner, a bit of a sleeper. I actually think some people might get value out of this card. The speed and excel, they're good enough. 81 and 84, that's actually pretty solid when you compare him to some of the other speed rushers or edge rushers in this game. They're solid stats, but the block shit and power move were actually really, really good on the card as well. You know what? He's underrated. He comes in at number 5. Now, number 4 is going to be Jaden Daniels, and I know a lot of people would expect this card to be higher, but picking a BND quarterback just usually is not it. I know a lot of people already have somewhat decent quarterbacks, and this Jaden Daniels is good but not great. Like, realistically, there's very cheap quarterbacks that you can pick up who are basically just as good. Like Anthony Richardson's 80 overall card, just as an example right here. If I show you guys the stats on him, they're similar to Jaden Daniels. The speed is a little bit less, the throw power is a little bit more. There's not that big of a difference between these two cards. And also, like I said, a BND quarterback just doesn't tickle my pickle. It doesn't tickle my fancy because when you want to replace him, you get no value. Whereas if you pick a wide receiver, you get a little bit more value moving him to wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3. Now, moving into our top 3, fellas, I am surprised. I wish this Terrion Arnold card was not number 3, but it's a tough pick for me between the number 3 and the number 2 spot. I'm going to give Terrion Arnold the number 3, which is crazy. We would think that a corner would always be a top 2 or even the best player in a program like Rookie Premiers, but that's just not the case, and I'm not going to justify putting this card higher than that. The speed and excel, they're okay, but the zone coverage is really the problem. 78 zone, 78 play rec is horrible. There's other corners that came out yesterday, like Shaquille Griffin as an example, who's a better card than this and only sells for 70k on the auction block. I just can't give Terry on a top 2 spot. Now, at the number 2 spot, we have JC Latham. If this card comes out, I think he's worth picking. The tackle position in this game is one that realistically a BND player can stay on your lineup for a long time, and there's not really any BND tackles that a lot of people are going to have on their team. Like, there's really not many cheap tackles in this game. Realistically, maybe you have some low 80s tackles, like 80s or 82s, and upgrading to an 85 BND that's going to stay on your team for months on end. That's a good pick. That's a long-term pick. It's a pick that's actually pretty important because I feel like having good tackles, especially if you're playing in the ranked mode where it seems like pass rush is crazy, having better tackles makes a difference and is actually worth picking. Then at the number 1 spot, we got my boy Rome. You guys probably guessed it. I absolutely am going to be going through and picking Rome Odunze, and I would recommend you guys pick him as well. The card's actually good. He can last on your team for a while, and for me personally, I'm going to pick Rome and I'm going to pick JC. If JC isn't available, then I'll probably go through and pick Terrion Arnold, and that's honestly what I'd recommend you guys do in terms of your selection. If you can get all 3, get JC, get Terrion, get Rome. If you can only get 1, I'd go for Rome. If you can get 2, it's kind of up to you whether you want to go for Rome in the tackle or Rome in the corner. Me personally, I'd go for Rome and JC, but that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to scroll down and drop a like, and until next time, I'm out. Love y'all. See ya.